Hey guys, it's me again. So my bed's a mess, my hair's a mess, my skin is a mess, and my life is a mess. I'm just kidding about the life part, but my hair is a mess. So if you haven't read the title already, this video is going to be about public washroom problems. So I go to a high school, and recently I've been trying to drink my regulated amount of water that I should be for a teenager of my body type and age and activity level. As such, I'm going to the bathroom a whole lot more than I used to. Disclaimer right from the top, there might be a little bit too much information in this video. Now, when I was in elementary school, I made it a point to never use the school bathrooms. If I went to the bathroom at school twice in 1 year, that was ridiculous for me. I made it a point to wait until after school. Now, I don't know what the boys' bathroom is like at school because I've never been in one before. But there are certain stresses that go on in the girls' room. And I'd just like to share them with y'all real quick. First of all, if you're not pee shy, then I need some of your confidence. If you don't know, for some reason, what it is to be pee shy, it's basically the constant fear that anybody else in the bathroom at the time is judging the sound of you peeing. I don't know why, when I'm in the bathroom and I hear somebody else doing their stuff, I don't care. I'm not judging them for it. But for some reason, I am convinced that whoever is out there at the moment is judging every sound I make. So now, take the embarrassment of having to use the bathroom and other people being able to hear. If you're a girl, then you already know where I'm going with this next. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Pad packaging makes it about 1,000,000 times worse because that packaging is just rude. You're in there, and if you need to change your pad or put one on or whatever, and you take it out of your backpack or what have you, and you start opening that sucker. The packaging on pads is like, you have to rip it millimeter at a time so that it doesn't make that noise when you open it, because as soon as anyone in the bathroom hears that noise, they know, they know that whoever just made that noise is on their period. And as girls, we shouldn't care if other girls know we're on our period, but for some reason, we still do. This is going to segue into my next annoying topic about public washrooms. The people who are in the bathroom for reasons other than actually using it for what it's meant for. Being a pee shy person, I can't stand it when I go in there to do my business and there's just one other chick just sitting there at the mirror, like just checking out their eyeliner, fixing their hair as I clearly need to do right now, just fluffing up their hair, fixing their skin and their foundation and everything, and like just looking at themselves, checking their teeth, just flat out checking themselves out, like not even doing anything, just checking themselves out. You're not in here for a purpose other than your own vanity. The fact that you are there is making me so anxious because I'm in the cubicle or whatever. We call them stalls, but isn't that what barnyard animals sleep in? So when I eventually come out of there, I'm probably like bright red from just the thought of them being able to hear me. I come out of there and I can't get to the sinks because who's standing in front of the sinks? The girls who are checking themselves out. They've got their makeup just spread everywhere. And can I just mention something? The bathroom at my school has 3 sinks. In front of each sink is a mirror. So there are 3 sinks and 3 mirrors. No more mirrors. There's a separate room where I think there should be at least 1 mirror. There's plenty of wall space. We should just make the whole, well, not the whole thing, because then you'd be able to see everything going on in the cubicles. But we should make way more of the wall space into mirror space with little shelves, because you know what? If there's only 3 sinks and only 3 mirrors, the girls who are so vain that they have to run to the bathroom every half an hour just to check themselves out, they are taking up that precious mirror space. And I'm not there to check myself out. I'm there to wash my hands because they're disgusting right now. And the soap, if it works, or if there is any, is disgusting enough. So it's enough of an ordeal for me to have to wash my hands in this bathroom, but if I can't get to the sink because you're checking yourself out, and now I feel like a culprit because I have to just, excuse me, so that I can wash my hands because that's what the sinks are there for, and you're giving me this look like, I'm sorry, Don't you have a little hand mirror in your bag? You have enough makeup. At least one of your little eyeshadow palettes or blush palettes has a hand mirror. And now let me talk about the sinks themselves. Okay, the sinks themselves. There is one sink that I can use, okay? I don't care if that sink is taken and the other two are free. I have to use that sink because it's the only one that isn't one of those push buttons, and you know, someone else has recently used the push button. So it's wet and cold and it probably has a little hair stuck on it. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. And even if you do get a marginally clean one, you push it and it goes for about 8 seconds approximately, and then it stops. Another issue is that there is literally no water pressure behind it. It's like there's this little reservoir of water, and when you hit the button, it just kind of opens and the water just trickles out. There is no water pressure there. That is not cleaning any of the bacteria off of my hands. It's either freezing cold or boiling hot. There is no in between. The soaps. Okay, the soaps. If there is a soap near you, it doesn't have any soap in it. There might be another soap over there. It might have soap in it. It might not. And if it does have any soap, it's like that really weird smelling stuff, so you walk out of there and you're like, your hands are out here because you don't want to bring them anywhere close to your face. Your sleeves are all rolled up and your hands are kind of dripping because of the unworking blow dryers. Or if you're lucky enough to have paper towels, you've used a bunch of them, but they all get damp, and the smell and texture of wet paper towel literally makes me want to vomit. Like, I swear, when I was in ceramics last semester, I felt like vomiting at the end of every class because I would have to wash my hands with that stuff and wash the table, get all the extra clay off the table. So I'd be working with all this wet paper towel and little bits of it are sticking to my skin and to the thing, and if I bring it anywhere close to my face, I can smell, you know the smell I'm talking about, it reeks. You know when you go to a fast food restaurant like Wendy's or McDonald's or A&W or anything? I'm not bashing a specific place, I'm just saying, that kind of fast food restaurant. If you ever go to the bathroom there and you use their soap, confession time, okay? When I was younger, sometimes even now, and my family would go out for lunch on like a Sunday or whatever, and we'd go to one of those fast food places. My mom would often be the kind of mom who'd be just like, okay guys, you should go to the bathroom and wash your hands first so that they're clean before you eat. Yeah, I would go in there and I would not use the bathroom. Because if I used the bathroom, that would mean I would have to wash my hands. And I was not going to wash my hands. So, Mom, if you're watching this, a lot of those times I didn't actually wash my hands. I'm sorry. I might have used hand sanitizer if I had any. But I didn't wash my hands because I knew that within the next 10-15 minutes I would be eating, probably a burger, where my hands would be probably about here. And when I took a bite of that burger, it'd be like, and then my hand would be right here under my nose. And the soap in those bathrooms just stinks so much. Like, I don't even know what it smells like, but it smells really bad. I remember when I was younger, we would go out for lunch and I would actually wash my hands when my mom told me to, and I would come home and I would just stand in the bathroom scrubbing my hands with actual nicely scented soap and just trying to get that stink off, and it would not go away for at least a day. It was disgusting. And just talking about all that, I've got to use some hand sanitizer. I can't. Okay, we're good. And do you know how much sanitizer is probably in that soap? Like, yeah, maybe it gets your hands clean, but good gracious, are they gonna stink? I work in a fast food place like this, and we have to wash our hands all the time, of course, because we're working with food. One time, a couple shifts ago, I got down for my break, I used the bathroom, I washed my hands, but I had food. So I was like, okay, I've got some really nice smelling Bath & Body Works hand sanitizer in my bag. I'm gonna use some so that when I bring my hands up to my mouth, I won't have to smell the repulsive stench of our work soap. So I put on a couple drops of the hand sanitizer. I rub it all over my hands, I go to get my burger, and oh my gosh, what is going on with my skin? It just went really red and irritated and itchy and really sore and painful, and it just felt like it was on fire. And that was only halfway through my shift. So after it kind of wore off a little bit, I'd had my meal and everything, at least my hands smelled good. I had to wash my hands again in the same crappy soap, and I went back upstairs and I kept doing my stuff where I was constantly submerging my hands in various sanitizers and water and liquids, and they're just never quite dry for the rest of your shift. It's really gross. And there's like chocolate splattered all up my arms, and I felt disgusting enough already, but my hands just kept on getting more and more irritated through the whole night. That was weeks ago. my skin is just about recovered because I tried it again the next week. Like, I came home after a shift and I used some hand sanitizer because I thought, okay, the sanitizer from the soap should be out of my no. My skin started burning so bad. So now we know, if you work in a fast food restaurant like that and you use their soap and you have Bath & Body Works hand sanitizers, do not use them in conjunction. Maybe it's just my skin, but maybe it's other people. Apparently, the sanitizer content or the alcohol content in that soap versus the content in here is just too much, and it reacts, apparently. This has been a safety message. And finally, one last thing before I go, the dryer situation. Right, I already ranted a little bit about paper towel and how much that irks me out. There's a Superwoman video where she talks about how the air pressure in those blow dryers is like the little Bugs Life characters, like they're just sitting in there going because it's so weak and like not even warm, it's not doing anything. I consider that to be the least of the problems. If you can get any air out of those things at all, you're lucky. The nozzle thing is right about here, so your hands need to be under that. Unfortunately, the sensor, the motion sensor, is way back here. So one hand needs to be down here while you're frantically waving your other hand around trying to get it to dry off. And you're kind of like switching. And if you bring one hand back over to try and rub it off the water, then it stops. Do you see what I'm talking about here? There is no happy medium. Either one hand is getting dry and the other isn't, or the thing just stops. That's if you have a crappy one. Then there's the option you could be in a, I find these a lot in gas station bathrooms, the like X Factor or extreme blow dryers where it's like you just put your hands in instead of underneath, you just put them in and the air blows out on you. Okay, yeah, does its job better, but holy moly, calm down. Like, the Bugs Life characters would die. There is so much air pressure on those that when I am drying my hands, I can literally see the skin rippling along my hands because there is so much air and it looks like it's gonna peel off or rip off or something gross like that. Well, anyway, I'm up to 25 subscribers now. I'd still like to make it to 30 sometime soon. I don't know, should we set a deadline? By the end of March, I should have 30 subscribers. Please. I want you to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. See you guys next time.